God bless you, Springwall. I am Dr. Linda Ratliff, and it's a pleasure to have this opportunity to share with you strategies on how you can gain corporate support dollars for your nonprofit event. It starts with the opportunity. At first glance, you might think a for-profit company wouldn't be interested in donating to a nonprofit organization. However, many private and public companies take pride in supporting education, healthcare, and nonprofit organizations. Some companies even establish their foundations to help the local, national, or international community. You've got to start with synergy. Know that corporations consistently look for three themes in a charitable partnership: alignment with company mission and values, opportunity for unique employee experiences, and the nonprofit's ability to show measurable results. The challenge is that just as in business, competition is a major challenge in nonprofit fundraising. Due to a variety of factors, the need for philanthropy is growing, but even as the demand for donors increases, the supply of donors remains about the same. Companies routinely are solicited for donations from a wide range of nonprofits. Standing out against the other is more important than ever. But how do you do that? We'll get back to that in a minute. But we've got to start by locating the companies in our area. One of the best places to find corporate sponsors is the local economic development corporation in your city or state. They can provide you with the list of the viable companies in your area. You can also try fundraising intelligence platforms that allow you to search by a company's name. For instance, Ford Motor Company. And within seconds, the fundraising intelligence platform can show all charitable donation results. And for Ford, there were about 2,300. Now, some gifts are unspecified, while others range from a few $1,000s to several $100,000. A wide range of causes are also supported, from women's groups to food banks to education funds. Okay, so what if you can't find that company? Remember, some corporations establish charitable arms that may have different names. Try searching for records from corporate foundations like Kellogg's Corporate Citizenship Fund or the Dow Chemical Company Fund, the Maytag Corporation Foundation, and others. It starts with research because there are two challenges that we've got to overcome to be successful. Challenge number one, we've got to be mindful that many companies turn down requests because there simply was no connection between the company's mission, vision, and values and the nonprofit's cause. So we've got to start by identifying needs in the community and linking those needs between your ministry and the company. If you can find some connection with the company's values, then you are on your way to getting their attention. And that's the first step. And know that many companies are more likely to support causes directly related to their scope of business. Another challenge facing fundraisers is a lack of contact information. Who should you contact to discuss donation opportunities? That's where fundraising intelligence platforms come into the picture. Because after identifying a few companies that you're interested in reaching out to regarding making a donation to your organization, you've got to find the best person to contact. The who of corporate sponsorship often depends on the size of the company. For some companies, the main point of contact, could be the CEO. At others, it's human resources or a community support director. For some of the larger Fortune 1000 companies, a corporate social responsibility manager or team often handles donation requests. We need insight. The best places to find specific contact information for a company is Thomson Reuters, Dun & Bradstreet, and Database USA. You could also dive into biographic and relationship data sets like Zoom Info and Relationship Science. With these data sets, you can search for companies and view their current employee names, job titles, and locate some contact information. Cross-reference this information with the company's website or LinkedIn profiles. You might gain additional insight into its sponsorship experience and what the company looks for in prospective sponsorship partners, because you've got to capture their attention. A corporation donates to causes it cares about. Consider the opportunities and risk involved with corporate sponsorship. Of course, a company's donation helps the recipient nonprofit do good work in the community. This has a positive effect on the donating company's brand. The company may also experience a boost in morale because employees see the company is giving back to the community instead of simply looking to increase the bottom line. Corporate sponsorship may open more doors to individual giving from corporate directors, officers, and employees. But consider the risk. The risk of sponsorship gone awry is a problem. And that can happen if the recipient nonprofit mismanages a company's donation. This can reflect poorly on the company's brand. Alternatively, choosing the wrong recipient, meaning one that does not reflect the company's mission and values, could have a similar negative effect. And since the company is often donating cash that would otherwise go toward growing the company itself, corporate sponsorship is serious business indeed. Affinity, affinity, affinity. You can learn about a company's affinity by looking at its donation history. What organizations and types of organizations do they support? If you identify any trends, cross-reference them with information on the company's website. The company or their foundation arm may clearly outline the causes they support, eligibility, guidelines, deadlines, etc. Now here's some advice. Most researchers and fundraisers wish at the end of the day that they had started developing corporate relationships sooner. It can be tough and time-consuming to solicit corporate sponsors. But when you consider the potential payoff, not just for this year, but many years to come, it's well worth your time to start your research today. And after you complete your research and know the companies to contact, you have a list of their designated contact people, it's time to start the process flow. Now, the process flow gives you specific instructions on what you do next. Again, this is after you have a list of your companies, you have a list of their contacts, you have their emails and phone numbers and mailing addresses. Then you start by sending the letter. You make the ask in writing. You want to follow up with an email using a lot of the same terminology that you included in your letter. After that, you want to follow up with a call to that person. Since you sent them a letter and an email, you have kind of uninformedly identified yourself and introduced yourself to them. So now you make that formal call. Next, you want to gain the commitment. This is a very important step. Don't give up. But if you've done the previous steps correctly, you should not have a problem with gaining the commitment of that corporation. You receive the donation, and then you conduct your outreach or the actual event that you were planning. During that session, you want to take plenty of photos. You want to document all of the metrics. How much did you raise? How much did you give away? How many volunteers came? How many attendees participated? What was your initial goal? Did you reach your goal? From that, you want to develop communications celebrating all that you accomplished. If you create a newsletter on the event, that's even better because you can send it to all of the media resources in your area. You can also accompany it with a press release and a thank you letter to your sponsors. Next, you want to sit down and write down all of your lessons learned in your after action review. What did you plan to get? Did you get what you planned? If not, why not? If you did, then what can you do better? What is it you want to make sure that you take into next year's planning? Because the next step is to get busy planning next year's event. And we start all over again by researching companies to add to the list because we want to build relationships with corporate America and we want to continue to reach out to them and we want them to remember who we are and to remember our initiative. That way we know they will know who we are. They will be comfortable with who we are. They may even visit. And that's what we want to do. Reach out to corporate America because we want to connect corporate America's dollars with the needs in our communities. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that there is something in this information that you will find useful in your search for corporate support. God bless you.